guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Audi Wesley Chapel, and we have something very, very special. This is the refreshed 2020 Audi R8, and of course, a coupe. Been wanting one of these for a very long time on the channel, and I know you have wanted this as well. But let's talk a little bit about the Audi R8. The R8 is really that everyday supercar, mid-engine, V10 power. Now, it wasn't always that way. When the Audi R8 first hit the streets, it had a naturally aspirated V8. And those were the good old days because you could have your DCT transmission, your S-tronic DCT, or you could have a gated 6-speed manual transmission. Now, new for 2020, they've done some restyling, some refreshing, some tweaking. They've actually added more horsepower too. So this is not just an aesthetics thing for 2020, but there's more performance no matter if you go with your standard V10 Audi R8 like we have here, or that V10 performance trim level. What's interesting is that this is obviously a German mid-engine car, shares the mid-engine, the same engine with the Lamborghini Huracan. Here's a little fun fact, the engine is actually built in Hungary. So we have that German setup, you have the engine being built in Hungary and being shared with an Italian brand with Lamborghini. So let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 Audi R8 and see why it really is that everyday supercar and why it's almost getting to a point where it's getting overlooked by some of the other vehicles. Right off the bat, new styling at the front end of the business. So of course you're gonna get all LED headlights, turn signals, and daytime running lamps. This technology was designed on their Audi R8 race cars because before there was an R8 street car, they actually had Le Mans prototype racers known as the R8. Now, for 2020, they redesigned not only the headlight, but also this lower portion of the front fascia. You do have a functional vent over here in the corner, but the lower ones on each side are fake. That's a zonk. On an Audi R8, we can't have fake. That has to be functional. They could have at least made it an air curtain, but it's totally blocked off. I do like the way you have this nice little lower lip extension. And remember, it's not just for show. This is actually gonna give us more downforce, stop air from going underneath the front corner here, and get air into that functional scoop. Now, as we come across the front, there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. First of all, zonking this. It looks cool, but it's fake. So another fake vent. This one's gloss black. I love the open grille design. I wish they would have taken the 4 rings of Auto Union and brought it down into the grille area. I think it would have just cleaned up the hood a little bit more, but I love the R8 badge, and there's that nice little low lip extension that goes from one side all the way to the other. That little extension makes big differences, and the way that they know that is because they designed the front end off of the R8 GT3 and GT4 race cars that race in many different endurance series, including the IMSA WeatherTech series. You do also have the addition of these fake vents above the grille, which once again, they look great, but they're not functional. So I am gonna do 1, 2, 3, that's 3 more zonks at the front end, but still very aggressive, very low, very wide. Now, when we get up onto the front, because remember, this being a mid-engine, there's a storage trunk area up front. You have 2 very strong, powerful lines on the hood that go towards the A-pillar. We come around the bend. I want to point some things out before we get to the wheel and tire. I like how they extended this portion on the front fascia. I just wish that that was functional. But this is just drop dead sexy, this piece right here, and that's right off the race car. Now, when we look at wheel and tire setup, you're looking at this massive 20-inch wheel, gloss black. Love the design, this lace pattern. Look at the calipers. Those are massive 6-piston Brembo calipers. The size of Ronald McDonald's head's gonna clamp down on that rotor, just like Grimace clamping down on a Big Mac to eat it. If you notice, look at the rotors. Those are actually wave rotors. So this is technology that not only has been used on race cars, but also on racing motorcycles as well. That wave technology actually helps dissipate heat while you are braking. Of course, being 2-piece aluminum hat with the rotor and cross-drilled and fully ventilated is also gonna cut down on heat as well. But this is probably one of the only cars that I've ever seen where they actually have a wave rotor tires. They're using those Pilot Sport 4S's. So the great news about these Pilots is that they're durable for everyday use, with this being an everyday supercar, but you're also gonna get some nice grip out of them. Now into the fender here, you do have a V10 badge, just to let you know, let people know, hey, you got some extra cylinders back there. Just cool to think, how many cars have V10s? Not many today. Now when we go down the side, I love the silhouette of an R8, just drop dead German sexiness. You have the color match mirror caps, that lower side sill extension, gloss black, aerodynamic functionality. We have some carbon fiber on both the top and the bottom here. Nicely done, fully functional. Just the lines of this car are just so beautiful, but so menacing at the same time. I love the way they flare out the fender. Let's talk about the rear. So the rear, you're looking at 4 piston calipers, still getting those wave rotors, and the rotors are massive. If you ate Thanksgiving turkey this last year on a big plate, that's how big these rotors are. 305, so we're talking about 305 on the width, 30 series on the sidewall. Quattro all-wheel drive, gonna keep you planted, keep you stuck like Gorilla Glue onto the asphalt. Super clean setup. We get to the back, you'll notice we do have a spoiler which is adapted. This raises and lowers. Right now it's in a semi-raised position, and then of course that V10, that is going to give us well over 500 horsepower. Love how it looks with the spoiler kind of extended a little bit. You got your R8 badge, full LED lighting. Look at how everything is open up here. That's going to allow for that exhaust heat to come out the back. I like the way it's flat black, just simple, clean, little bit of gloss black. And then check out the size of the exhaust. Super large on the trim rings, going to give us a nice sound, and you have that massive diffuser down there that's going to help suck this car down like a big old suction cup. You know how you lick a suction cup and then you stick it? That's how that diffuser is going to be. The good news is you don't have to lick it. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop this engine hatch and see what's powering this V10. All right, guys, we got that rear glass hatch open. Underneath is V10 goodness. Look at the carbon fiber. They spilled 2 buckets of carbon fiber on that engine compartment. Now, what are we talking about for 2020 for power? That still same 5.2 liter V10 engine. We're talking now horsepower, 562 horsepower. So we went from 533 from last year to 562, and then pound-feet of torque, 406 pound-feet of torque, and that is up from 398 pound-feet of torque from last year. This car weighs around 3,737 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds. Top speed, 201 miles an hour. MPGs, 13 in the city, 20 in the highway. Obviously, some main competition for this car would be the 600 LT from McLaren, the Porsche 911 Turbo, and yes, the new Corvette. So you put in the comment section, would you rather have a C8 Corvette over this V10 powered Audi R8? Let me know, let the world know how you feel about that. I'll tell you one thing right now, opening up that glass engine cover, seeing the carbon fiber, seeing the massive intake of that V10 with the Audi badge, and I love the way they even did around the rear glass, separating the cockpit from the engine compartment, all carbon fiber. This thing is a very, very special car, but if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's hear what 10 cylinders sound like firing up. All right, guys, a little bit of supercar heaven in here. Really love how the interior is laid out. Not only do I love that engine compartment, I also love the way they lay out the interior in here. Now, I know you're wondering, Joe, how much is this? Because I know I could get a fully loaded Stingray Corvette for about $90,000, $95,000. How much is this? Now, this is gonna be where it hurts a little, but this is an Audi R8. You're looking at an MSRP right at $189,000. V10 power. Let's see what else you're getting to the door panels. Now, I love all the beautiful leather, the stitch work, the carbon fiber trim right there in the corner and around the AC vent. Nice touch. You get the B&O sound system. And then guess what? At the bottom of the door panel is a nice small pocket for a couple of track Twinkies. So when you're doing your track day, you could put your Twinkies in there. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, Same minimalistic. What I love about this car, it's minimalistic. Audi does it so well. Soft material, the Quattro badge, you got carbon fiber, beautiful wet weave carbon fiber around your AC vents. Here's your AC controls. That's it. That's all you need. Open this guy up right here. You're gonna have your 2 USBs, an aux jack, a jack, and a 12 volt, and a place for wireless charging. So that's a nice touch. We come here, you have some simple toggle switches, and then this is gonna control that 7-speed DCT, that S-tronic transmission. You could do it manually with the shifter, or of course we have paddles on the back of the steering wheel. This is for your one breath mint for your loser. So you race somebody at the track, you blow their doors off, throw them a breath mint so they can freshen their breath at least. But carbon fiber is almost on every orifice of this Audi R8. You do have your direct drive control knob to go through different systems on the dash. You have that virtual cockpit, which is second to none. Hard as a German Danish that's been sitting out in the sun for the armrest. But you know what? What's great about it is that you open it up, those are your 2 cup holders. So any kind of storage in here is actually gonna happen behind us, but there's your 2 cup holders. You do have a nice lid to clean it up. You have access for CD and all that good stuff. And then you have a nice little cargo area back here to put a box of Twinkies or some Lay's. Seats, right out of a race car. 1-piece back, love the perforated headrest. The stitch work is great. Of course, they're gonna be fully electric for both the passenger and the driver. You do have heated seats, which is nice, but no ventilated seats. So that's gonna be a zonk, if I ever did say a zonk before, because at $189,000, we would say it's definitely ventilated. What's nice is key fob, sexy key fob. So you have an Audi R8 specific key fob. You flip it around. There's your ability to pop the frunk and all that. And then of course, beautiful Alcantara. Here's a little fun fact. Alcantara is not the name of the material. It's the name of the company that makes the material that we now just refer to as Alcantara. Frameless auto dimming mirror, which is wonderful. Seating position, so perfect in here. I could see why they won so many Le Mans races. Carbon fiber, look at this. Carbon fiber, leather, carbon fiber. This is what I'm talking about. Get your butt over here though. I want to show you behind the flat bottom steering wheel of this Audi R8. All right guys, business time. That beautiful carbon fiber. I want to show you on the door here how the AC vent is actually built into the door. When you close the door, it's going to seal up against here. This is where the AC is coming out of, not coming out of here right now. I got to close the door. You have this beautiful R8 on the sill. Easy to get in and out of. Much easier than a McLaren for sure. Let me get my towel out of the way. That's for later. But we do have all our seat controls. Steering wheel right out of a Le Mans race car. You got your start stop button. You got your drive select modes. Flat black. Look how thin the spokes are. The beautiful R8 logo. The big zonk though is going to be the paddles on the back. They're small and they're plastic. These should have been magnesium, titanium, plutonium, uranium, something. No, joking about the other two, but some type of metal and nice and large. But one thing that's large and in charge is that virtual display. 12.3 inches of awesomeness. You can see on the left there, it's showing our Audi R8 with the engine through the engine cover. I'll make that go away. You could actually shrink it down. You could bring it back nice in the center there. We could toggle through other information, a plethora, a cornucopia. Look at that. This is beautiful. Awesome. Look at this. You could go through the different systems. We could go into our different mode selector. So you got auto. We're leaving that in dynamic. So dynamic mode is going to be meant for the track, but great visibility. Why don't we go ahead? The heck with the frunk. I don't care about it. Let's take this Audi R8 for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Audi of Wesley Chapel. We're in the 2020 Audi R8. Right now, I just have it in automatic mode, that 7-speed DCT transmission. Visibility out the front is amazing. I can peek and see the V10 behind the glass. Very, very comfortable, very smooth, very smooth. Steering has a great weight to it. The actual steering wheel feels amazing. The quality of materials, you know, everybody I know is putting in the comments right now, C8 Corvette, C8 Corvette, C8 Corvette. The interior is nicer in this Audi R8, as it should be for $189,000. But there's other things that we got to look at besides just a fast 0 to 60. Now I know the C8 Corvette will beat this 0 to 60 faster, yes. This does have a top speed of 201 and an interior that's just makes you drool for days. Not to say that the interior in the C8 Corvette is garbage or anything, but the virtual cockpit, the minimalistic interior, it's just so spot on the money in here, and I absolutely love all the carbon fiber. It's not fake, it's 100% real. Looking out over the windshield, you feel like you're on in any mid-engine car, and I get it why Corvette went to being a C8. Any mid-engine car is gonna have that feeling that you're on the front axle, and it just allows you to really be able to feel what the front of the vehicle is doing. Plus, it's gonna make that balance just so amazing for you, front to rear. All right, guys, little acceleration test. I have it in manual mode. Here we go. Yeah, V10. Woo! Wow, those massive calipers. Great feedback coming from the wheel. Super smooth. So smooth. The power delivery is so smooth because there's no turbos or anything, just naturally aspirated. That freaking transmission is it's so quick. I mean, you shift from one gear to the other, it goes up and down very, very fast, very efficiently, and you just feel so planted with that all-wheel drive. You feel so planted to the ground. Look at this. On the brakes, nice downshift, little pop out of the back from the exhaust. Yeah! I tell you, this thing is unbelievable. All right, guys, here we go again on throttle. Yeah! The power is crazy. Nice on the brakes. Super smooth. It sounds like a V10 Formula One car from a few years ago. On the brakes, hitting your marks like a champ. Look at this. Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. On the brakes. Yeah. Woo! Woo! Oh my God. This thing is so hooked up. So hooked up. It's like you can't do any wrong in this thing. And that V10 sound is just second to none. You know, quite a few years ago, Formula One cars were powered by V10s. Not anymore, but this thing is a beast. It really, really is. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. On the brakes, feeling good. Look at this, this is wonderful, this is wonderful. It just launches you out of a turn like a rocket. On the brakes, feeling great. Look at this, look at this. Just so connected. I wish that the pedals were a little bit larger, because I'll be honest with you, as I'm going through the roundabouts and trying to hit my marks and everything, it's just making me think about it too much, about hitting the pedal. That should be something that's like instantaneous, that I don't have to think about. What I need to be taking all of my brain power is in the actual driving, not worried about making sure I make contact with a paddle. So that is one major zonk for me in this car, is just how small the paddles are. But visibility is great, getting to everything is very nice, and the power delivery is just so smooth. It is just so very smooth, especially first gear. On throttle, here we go. Yeah! Wow, look at this, here we go. Nice! Coming out of the turn. On the brakes. Downshifts are so perfect in this thing. So perfect. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. Where's my towel? I'm just glad to be able to share this experience with you. Is this better than the C8? You know, it's one of those things that, what do you really want out of a car? If you want a unique sound, if you want something that you're just not gonna see every street light, which I know you don't see the C8 Corvette every street light, but it is eventually gonna turn that way. Just like the C7. I remember when the C7 first came out, you didn't see them very often. But this thing just gives you a very, very unique driving experience that you can enjoy on a regular basis. But we need to get this car back to Audi of Wesley Chapel, because I am sure they are wondering where their R8 is. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys. This is one of those days, just like many others that we've had and shared here on Rotors Rides, where we get behind the wheel of exquisite machines that are not only meant to move the body, but also stir the soul and your spirit. And this Audi R8 definitely checks out all the boxes. I want to thank Chris, Adam, and Mike here at Audi of Wesley Chapel getting us access to this 2020 R8. Is this the ultimate everyday supercar? I'm gonna say heck yeah. I can't wait to read the comments and see how many of you just flat out said you'd rather get a C8 Corvette and be happy with that. But I think if you have the means, an R8 is gonna separate you from that sea of C8 Corvettes that's gonna appear over the next year and a half, 2 years. But if it's supercars like these that you want to see on the channel, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rotors Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some merch. We got Tom, Big Guns McGee, working that camera on this supercar. I got Chris over here from Audi of Wesley Chapel. He's doing a little filming, he's doing a little photography. He wants to come work with Rotors Rides. So maybe Chris one day, keep your fingers crossed. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.